Trusty sidekick.
Hello, it's Narakazi. Today is April 15th, 2015, episode 65.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It is tax day. For all of you that don't know this.
Oh.
Okay, for those of you that do know this. For those of you that do know this, I hope you got your taxes filed, or asked for an extension, or did something to move over here to make sure that you don't have the dogs barking at your door. And for those of you that have got it done, congratulations.
Thank
All right.
you. Thank you.
I hope that we have a wonderful show this evening. I'd like to give a shout out to all of the independent filmmakers and actors and actresses that are in the New England area, particularly Maine. That being Seth Roberts, Alan Dillingham, Gary Halger, Kevin DeBacco, Crosby Tatum, and Bill McLean, and a bevy of other filmmakers, such as myself, also working very diligently to bring you good entertainment, and I hope that you support us. All right, without further ado, I'd like to get right into the show. It is a very good night. For those of you that don't know, I am opening a bakery. It is called Daily Bread Low Sodium Bakery here in Maine, in Standish, Maine, as a matter of fact. I've been raising funds to acquire all of the things that I need. All I need at this particular point is a few more things. I am almost there. So please go to Daily Bread Bakery go to Indiegogo/dailybreadbakery.com and contribute. I'm using the crowdfunding forum. And please tell your friends about it. I still need a few thousand more to make this all successful and happen the way that it needs to happen. Okay, so the unicorn is in. I'm listening. What do we got?
First question is from Amy.
Down.
She asks, are there things besides astral travel that can cause space neurosis, and how much?
Yes, a lack of grounding.
And how does one recognize it?
By your inability to put two and two together, and your thoughts would be very irrational and ungrounded. Also, you would make very, very bad decisions, and it's a loss of energy, and your ambition to do anything is just gone out of the window. Many times you'll come up, a person that has space neuroses will appear, for all intents and purposes, rather delusional. For instance, there was a time that someone was training alongside of myself, and this particular person would not adhere to some of the standards of training, and they wound up being very strange. You know, they were sitting in the middle of a parking lot and asking me if I could see the giant lotus that was surrounding them. Now, I'm a telepath and I can see a lot of things, but I didn't see any giant lotus. And that person had also let themselves go tremendously and couldn't really be reasoned with, you know. And that was a severe case of space neuroses. In fact, a person that has space neuroses is very similar to a person that is whacked out on drugs. You know, not violently so most of the time, but sometimes it can lead to that, you know. But remember this, always keep your grounding. Things that will help you to stay in your body. You know, before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. After enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. There's a reason for that, so that you allow yourself to be up in the clouds all day, but make sure that your feet are on the ground. Like I said, it's great that a person would learn to manifest a fireball in their hand, but can they put food on the table? See, this is the case of space neuroses.
Sorry.
Okay.
We've been working hard at the
that's
bakery.
Just neurotic.
We've been working hard at the bakery.
That's got nothing to do.
Pink
It's
fumes.
neurotic.
The pink fumes, man.
You know,
No,
so
kidding.
those are the things. Now, yeah, now I have to, again, say this to students. When you are on the show, make sure that your questions are of a general nature. And, you know, most people didn't know what space neuroses meant, so you don't mention things like that, okay? only if they know what that means is it pertinent to them. Okay, and I like to keep things on the show that are general enough that everyone can participate. So students, unless you have something that can be learned, run by all. Okay, and what's next?
Next question is from Ren Flex. It was one. He said he asked a question last week about being an atheist yet believing in the paranormal, and he says, "I'm sorry for the last question. I didn't really believe in a god.
I don't. I know that there is a God.
From what I have seen, from what I saw of your videos. Although, let me rephrase my question. You said that you are fond of science, yet you believe in the paranormal by pure faith and personal experience, without caring for scientific explanations. Can you explain your double standards?"
Well, first off, that's not a double standard, and I did not say I believed in anything, ever. One of the things that I do is remember exactly what it is that I've said, and to mince words with me is just not a winning situation for anybody. I think that science is ill-equipped to deal with the paranormal, period.
That is what he's.
Okay. What I did say is this: I admire pure science. Popular science is a bunch of people that are looking to steal information and steal things from other people and then label them and call them science, for instance. There's this big push on science of everything, science, art. But see, science is the birth child of art. Everything that there is was someone's vision at some point in time. It wasn't science. Yeah, I believe in the Big Bang Theory. That thing I can actually tell you. I'm with that. I'll believe in that. However, even if I proved that to myself, I would have to say this: someone lit the fuse. That means that there was a consciousness before even the Big Bang. Okay, so there you got my saying that I believe in something. I don't believe in science. I just don't. I admire science. But when it comes to the paranormal, science is ill-equipped. It sticks its feet in places that it's not meant to walk. It would be far better for science to wait until the paranormalists are through with everything and explain it to them, rather than seeking some form of proof that can never be substantial in any way, shape, or form. I would ask them to prove that there can be life on Mars. Prove it. Don't give me a theory. Don't tell me what NASA said, because I really don't believe anything that NASA has to say. Okay? You'd have to show me right up front. The only way for me to believe that Mars can be colonized is if I were on that colony thing myself. That's the bottom line of it. You know, because of so many lies that have been told. Look at our world, the state that our world is in right now. Okay, because of science. Okay, science has done everything possible to make life intolerable for human beings. Totally intolerable. Science has lied, it has cheated, it has stolen, it has betrayed. Do you know that there were scientists that sat up and said that people who were Caucasian couldn't mate with people that were black? That was science. And oh yeah, it was also science that called the earth flat. And there are a number of scientists that are still trying to prove that. It's the most amazing thing. A person got credit for the concept of gravity, which is absolutely stupid. Gravity has existed long before Sir Isaac Newton. And he just happened to be daffy enough to fall asleep up under a tree full of ripened apples. That's not science. That doesn't explain anything. All it does is give someone credit due to their privilege. And I say the same thing. First off, that guy, what's his name, Tyson, who decided that Pluto is no longer a planet. What kind of dope is he anyway?
Did he go to Pluto? And
no, he just decided because he thought it was so important and so smart. That's not smart at all. Now, anyone who's an astrologer will tell you that Pluto bears a strong significance to astrology and astronomy and even celestial energies. You know, so for this person to decide, well, it's not a planet because it's too small, that's absolutely ridiculous. And yeah, I would stand toe to toe with him and tell him exactly what I thought of him. Now, when it comes to God or goddess, that's not a belief. That's something that I know. I know beyond knowing. You know, and no matter what anyone will ever say, has ever said, or could say, or would say now, could convince me otherwise. That's just the bottom line. I have too many experiences, and these are real experiences. So, science is one of those things that is hit and miss, and science has lied to us. I still don't have a flying car. Okay?
Or a time machine.
That's negotiable.
The DeLorean.
Now, I know how to build a time machine. I just don't have the money or the equipment because they keep giving the money to the wrong people. I would come up with a flying car, but they keep giving money to the wrong people. See, there are a lot of people like me that can build things, that know how to do it. We just don't get the opportunity or the money. Use $30 million for a freaking jet. Please, that's like so limited and stupid. What you need is interstellar crafts that are capable of getting us from one place to another place and sustain life. But you can't sit up and give it to these people that walk around with the same old people, you know, that walk around thinking that they're so important. It's time for some change. You know, lighten up the purse strings and give the money to some people who are actually inventive, actually really inventive. You know, so I have a bone to pick with science. I've met some wonderful scientists, and I call them pure scientists. And those are people that are looking for the betterment of the human race. And I admire those people because they can also come out and say, listen, science doesn't know anything, really. Not until after the fact. And they'll be telling the truth about it. So it's not so much that I believe anything. What I know, I know. What I don't know, like you said, I can accept. But that acceptance gets me to knowing. Belief is that thing that holds hands with disbelief. I really don't have any time for that. It's kind of like this. I never teach a person to trust me, nor do I teach a person to trust anybody else. Because the moment that you trust someone, you will eventually have to distrust them. It would be far better to accept them and to get to know them. If you know a person, trust doesn't even have a place. You know what they will do. You know what they won't do. It's really simple if you think about it. We are the ones who make things very, very complicated. Now, what was that other part about the last part of his question?
Well, you said you're fond of science, yet you believe in the paranormal by pure faith and personal experience.
Okay, when have you ever heard me say anything about faith?
Without caring for scientific explanations.
And I never said that I believe, again, I don't say that I believe in things. Like, I didn't say I believed in the paranormal. I didn't say that I use it through pure faith. That's someone else that you've been listening to, because I've never said that. However, I will tell you this. I am a paranormal person. My whole life is paranormal. It has been paranormal, if you will. That's normal for me. It's not a matter of belief. It's what I know. So, did I ever say that I was fond of science?
No, you always harp on the sciences, but
Continuously.
You appreciate.
I appreciate people with good minds.
Pure scientists, and there's a difference. And as far as the personal experience, without caring for scientific explanation, a personal experience, like, how do you ask a person, please explain to me your personal experience with scientific explanation? Okay, see, now you got me ranting, and I'm going to stop because I will be totally inappropriate.
You already are.
So I'm going to stop right
here.
here.
Let me just say it this way.
What? You're not making any sense.
Hush. I mean, scientific explanation doesn't do anything. There's a bunch of people who are privileged that went to schools that other people were excluded from because they didn't like them for some reason. So as far as I'm concerned, I've been called a pure scientist by a pure scientist. Okay. I do understand the difference between a divine science and an earth science or popular science. Like, you won't find me hanging out with Bill Nye, the science guy. Okay, but if you're talking about divine science, such as astrology, numerology, telemetry, etc., 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 those things are very valid. And they too are based upon knowledge. They're not based upon conjecture. They are not based upon theory, nor are they waiting for someone else to show them proof. Okay? My experiences are my experiences. Everyone's experiences are their experiences. Science has no place in a person's experience, nor will it ever. So as far as turning everything into science, I heard this quote. This person said they were unexplained or unproven science. That's like the most unintelligent thing you could ever say. Undiscovered science, that was it. What is that? That doesn't make any sense.
That's like saying
Okay,
that.
if I see a picture in my head, whatever I see in my head, I can bring into form. That's not science. Okay? Even if it doesn't exist and I can visualize it, I can bring it right through. I can materialize it. I can make it happen in some way, shape, or form. That has nothing to do with science. That has to do with vision and manifestation. Now, if you want to call it science because someone is very boxed in, fine. The way that I look at it, manifestation is manifestation. Call it ground control. Bringing into form that which is intangible. I don't need faith to do that. I know myself. Faith is when you don't know. Belief is for people that don't know. What I know, I know. Would I stake my life on things that I know? Yes, definitely. And I've said that a multitude of times. So, wrong person when you say that I believe in something. I hope I've addressed every part of that. Yeah. Excuse my daughter. Sometimes she jumps the gun. Okay, what else have you got?
Vasu asks, I was wondering, just a feeling, do entities attach themselves to humans through the subconscious?
Well, you're talking about the spiritual realm, basically. And the spiritual realm transcends different levels of consciousness. We like to believe that our thoughts are hidden into ourselves because of our bodies, and we base everything upon our separation. In the spiritual realm, there is no separation. So yes, they can attach themselves through your subconscious, if you will, and your consciousness, even your subconscious. What they cannot do is attach themselves to your spirit or your soul. Okay, your spirit and your soul are beyond reach of something like that. So no matter what anyone tells you, no matter what they've said to you, nothing can hurt your spirit and your soul. It can hurt your body and even some of your nearer bodies, such as the astral body and the etheric body. And yes, there are entities that know what you're thinking when you're thinking it. The dimension of thought is universal. It's not separate. So this is why people can get those evil boards, the Ouija boards, and the contract can be formed because they know what you're thinking. They know what you're searching for because you're projecting it. They know what you want to see. And many times they will fashion themselves so that you see exactly what it is that they want you to see. Now, these are beings that have been here much longer. Some of them are beings that have been here longer than you have. Longer than anyone in your ancestry has been. And some of them are in the astral realm. And it's best that you don't tread on those waters. Pay attention to what you need to pay attention to. Develop yourself spiritually so that you can see as well, so that you will know. And then you will have instead of having your decision made for you, you will have a choice. Free will and choice of two different things. Your free will is to decide what your alignment will be. You know, are you going to be of light? Are you going to be of darkness? The moment that you make that particular choice, and every other choice in your life will surround that one choice, be based on that one decision. So yes, they can attach themselves. You can also detach them through the subconscious. But remember this. Eventually it's going to be rooted in this dimension, this third dimension. Okay? You cannot get around this third dimension. As long as you are fully conscious of that, you will be able to do just about anything through your subconscious. The subconscious is not as hidden as science has caused us to believe. In fact, the subconscious is very apparent. The subconscious is a little more complicated. But the subconscious, misnamed. Okay. What do you have next?
Shout outs to Miyoko, Tony,
Hi.
Sebastian, Brian, Michelle, and Maddie Woo.
Maddie Woo?
Maddie Woo, 91.
Awesome. Good to hear from you all. And I hope you're all having a wonderful week.
Michelle has a question.
Sure.
Other than, yeah, all right. She says, hello, I saw a spider on my wrist, in my wrist, and moments later my son began speaking about it. That is just talking about tarantula in general. Can you explain what happened about that energy exchange?
That you saw the spider on your wrist and then your son started to talk about it. That was just your own totem projecting itself. Remember, we've been talking about that. Okay, so when you do see something and it's a spider, it shouldn't surprise you at all. And someone starts to talk about it. We've also decided that your children are rather sensitive. So if they see something around you, they're most likely to either comment on it or they're going to have some thoughts about it. And so that's just pretty par for the course. You know, one of your totems is a spider. You saw it there, which meant that totem was around. Your son happened to catch it. That's what that was. Okay, next.
Vasu says, I can feel attachments on people in some cases.
Okay. When you feel the attachment, is there a sensation? You can feel the attachment, but what do you do about it? Is there anything that you are looking to do? Because I can probably help you in that particular way. Okay, anything else there?
Marsha says, love your show.
Love you too. That's great. You know that you can, if there are those of you that want to actually speak, you can give us a call at area code 207-347-5686.
Wow, any faster?
I can do it faster. You like to hear me speak fast? You like it when I speak fast, don't you?
The next comment comes from Vasu, and she says, and then I can see some black spot developing on them for like a second or two.
Huh, interesting. It might be interesting for you to do this. The next time you see the black spots, do a notation as to where you see the black spots. Because whatever that entity is could be affecting them on a physical level, and that's why you see the black spots. So see if you can look, you can see where they're localizing themselves. And if you do happen to talk to one of those people that you see the black spots on, ask them, just take a shot, take a chance. Ask them if they have been having trouble in the area where you saw the black spots.
It reminds me of the Thai horror movie where the guy had the entity sitting on his shoulders, and so he sat like this, and he was just always tired. That was a good movie. That was a really good movie. I don't remember the name of it.
I don't either.
That was so long ago.
Seriously. Now you can't paint tomorrow. Inhaling the paint fumes. It's okay. What do you got next?
Fatigue, that's all. I I need a good meal and then I'll be all right.
What do you have next?
Michelle says thank you.
You're so very welcome.
I don't have anything next.
And for those of you that are looking to develop yourself, I do teach classes. If you are looking to develop what gifts that you have and use them, I teach classes. I do not teach for free. For those of you that think that I should teach for free, that's nice. For those of you that understand that we live in a world that demands that we make a living, this is not my hobby. This is my job. And I've done so long before it was cool to do so. Well, maybe not before it was cool to do so, but, you know, before it became all televisionized and all that good stuff. You know, so my classes are 6 weeks. They come in 6-week increments. And usually if there's reading material and I can get it for you, I will get it for you. But if you want to know more about the classes, you can check out our website. That's Unicorn Code School of Metaphysics, and that is www.unicorn-code.com. Or you can look up Ask the Unicorn at www.asktheunicorn.com.
Raza says the movie was called Shutter. Yes!
Oh, yeah!
Shutter, because they took a picture. Spoilers.
Who said that?
Vasu. She knew what movie was.
I know. You need to come here and hang out with us for a while, Vasu. Okay, what else have you got?
That's it.
Okay, you guys are rather quiet this evening, or maybe I'm just talking really fast. I will try to talk a little slower, so it's not going to help. See, I've been busy all day.
Do you have any movie reviews? Do you have any
movie reviews? Actually, I did see a good show that you all might want to know about, and that is Daredevil. You might check it out on Netflix. It's actually not bad.
Like this Daredevil, like
the series.
Superhero?
Yeah, the series. It's good. It's not bad at all. The guy, I don't hate the guy. I like him better than Ben Affleck playing Daredevil.
Oh my god.
You know, and Rosario Dawson is in it. And it's a good show. Oh, there's another movie that we saw with, was it Chris Rock? Chris Rock and Rosario Dawson, which was pretty good. It was Chris Rock, so, you know, he's actually not a bad actor.
Chris Rock is a good actor.
Yeah, not a bad actor at all. And, you know, he throws his heart in everything. What was the name of it? After 5?
I don't know.
5 something. 5.
It wasn't different.
I never remember the titles. I just remember the movies, you know. But I do remember Daredevil because I'm a big superhero fan, you know. So check it out. It's on Netflix and it's free. And you can look at it. And you will like it too. The fight choreography is astounding. They kind of took Tony Jaa's way, and it was Tony Jaa that did this, doing a whole fight scene in one take, which was awesome. And so anyone who doesn't know that Tony Jaa was probably the first one to do that and do it successfully. So, are there any other questions? What?
We have a YouTube follower.
Hello.
Chicken of Robot 567.
Wonderful. How are you? Robot Chicken, that translates to.
Robots, yes. Robots.
We like that show.
They said, I know this doesn't matter, but where is Scooby? All in capital.
Oh, Scooby's he's upstairs. Otherwise, you'd hear Scooby.
Yeah, Scooby's hanging out upstairs in the other side of the house.
Usually, when I'm talking, he decides to have a conversation with me while I'm talking to someone, so it winds up sounding like someone's making fun of me behind my back, going.
Yeah. So while we're here, he's
or else he says, "Wanna not?"
He's sitting upstairs with Sonari, who's moderating the chat room, and he actually sits on her shoulder and like snuggles down and watches the show from time to time.
Yes, because he loves my voice.
And sometimes he'll just he mimics the sound of people talking.
Yeah.
So
to the best of his ability.
Yeah, so
actually, not to the best of his ability. Just because he can actually talk quite a bit.
Yeah, just because he thinks the sounds are fun to make, so he does just consonants and he goes
Those are vowels.
Sometimes he does the
That's a vowel.
whatever. You know what? He learned to do the grudge sound from this guy.
Yeah, I taught him that.
When we had him, he didn't make that sound, and then he kept doing it to him. And one night in class,
he also does
serious class, and he goes.
He also does
louder.
right round.
Yeah, he got louder. He was like,
Yes, I've corrupted the bird.
He's a creepy little bird.
I've taught him to do certain things at certain times. There's some things he's just creepy. Like I was playing this survival horror game really late at night, and it was all quiet, and I think it was like stormy or raining that night, and all of a sudden
you're playing Dead Space.
Yeah, I was playing Dead Space, and I don't know if any of you have played Dead Space, but there's some parts that are just a little freaky, even for a person like me. Well, it's all quiet, and all of a sudden I hear, "Hi," and I look around, and I'll go, and it's Scooby over there.
Scooby
over going, "Hi."
In his house, we cover his cage up with blankets at night. So
he's using his inside voice, which is "Hi."
Yep. He's pretty creepy.
Yeah. So I think he does that stuff on purpose. He pretends not to know how to talk.
He does, but when he thinks nobody's listening, he goes off and
has a tangent.
Has like a full-on conversation. Like one day at the other house in Westbrook, I left him in the store because he and I used to work the store. So I left him there, and I was sitting around the corner in the foyer area, and he was just having the time of his life, talking all these things we've already heard him say. And then when he like shrieked at the top of his voice, "Can somebody help me?" Like in a woman's voice. And then just went back to, hi, Scoop. Hi, Scoop. Hi. And I turned around, and I walked through the corner, and I looked at him, and I said, Did you just say, "Can somebody help me?" And he looked at me, and he smiled.
Wanna not?
And he said, yeah, he didn't smile. It has no lips, but it was the equivalent of smiling. Shut up.
With a big smile.
Toucan Sam had a smile. What?
Oh, please. See, I told you, no painting for you tomorrow. No. This is what happens when you let a minor paint.
I'm not a minor, God! I'm not a minor. Only look
Whatever.
Like Lassa says, I recommend The Babadook for a horror movie. It was
saw it.
We saw
it. Was
saw
good.
It. That was funny.
Saw it.
It is really funny.
There are very few horror movies I have not seen.
Sebastian says The Right is a good movie.
It is, and I saw it.
We did?
Yes, The Right. Remember, it was the group of people that was they were a religious order or something, and they had to go. They lived in this, I don't even know what to call it, cave-like thing, and then they had to go and deal with these creatures that were kind of vampiric.
Oh, yeah.
And they rode motorcycles.
They had like a huge bonfire in the caves, and it was with the goddess. Their goddess.
No. That was a different movie.
Oh, never mind.
No, the graphics in that movie were really good.
I didn't see
They were very good.
How was that other one that you saw? The one with the Native American.
Oh, the
Apache.
The Revenged.
Who brought back.
Revenged.
Yes.
It was actually not bad. It
wanted
was
to
very
see
good.
See it.
Movie. It's called Revenged. You might check it out. And this woman gets attacked and maimed horribly, and then she gets possessed by an Apache spirit, and just totally lays waste to the people that did it.
Did they exorcise her eventually?
Yeah. Well, she died.
Oh.
Because she died before it happened, so both of them came back. Yeah, that sucked. But it was a good movie. It was entertaining. There are some big budget movies that I'm kind of bummed out that Idris isn't going to be James Bond.
What?
Too many people
What?
made
What?
Yeah, he's not going to do James.
Why? Why
because
the
of
hell not?
stuff that other celebrities
Why
have decided
the-
to say.
Ugh!
You know, because
Get out of your
it wouldn't
stupid,
be a-
narrow-minded people.
it wouldn't be a good idea to
Ah.
have a black James Bond because the character was originally written for a white person. Well, hell, Jesus wasn't white.
Who the? Did somebody go and talk to the creator of James Bond?
Oh yeah, someone definitely did. You know, so it's just the way it is. Leave it alone. I would much rather see him play another type of a special agent, like 115 or something.
Somebody please put him in a superhero role.
Yeah, he's totally
Other
cool.
than the guy who was the lead of Operations Commander-in-Chief. Not, like they did with Samuel L.
Yeah, and they're also doing Luke Cage, Power Man, and that was the same guy that did Halo, the Halo movie. What was his name? Something Cole. But anyway, it looks pretty good. You know, I think that I should be allowed to play Thor myself. Oh yeah, I am doing Pink Thor. I forgot about that. I think they should bring Wesley Snipes back as Blade. I'm sorry, I wouldn't accept anybody else playing Blade.
Who did they pick to do Spawn again?
I don't know, but Michael Jai White didn't want it, evidently. I don't know. But you guys really should watch Daredevil. You'll like it. The guy's not bad at all. I still say Tom Selleck is Tony Stark, though.
Heck yeah.
It's just like the Tony Stark in the comics.
Marsha has a question.
Yes. What do you have, Marsha?
She says, Z, do you feel it is possible to have a strong connection with your pets to the point you feel you understand them?
Well,
yes.
I do.
Yes.
Definitely.
We all understand our pets.
Yeah.
Even
your
my
pets are
fish.
listen, your pets are your friends, okay? And your friends, your animal friends, if you just listen to them, they'll tell you exactly what they want. Like Ling talks loud, really loud.
She does gestures too.
Yeah,
if you don't get it, she'll paw and use her face.
She understands the human condition. Come here, Ling. Come here.
She's a special little girl.
Come here, baby. This is my girl.
My little sister.
This is my Ling. See, this is my Ling. Okay, and Ling loves me.
That's for sure. She won't go anywhere unless her Z is there.
She's a good girl. She's a good girl. Yeah, I know.
And she just wants to kiss your face.
Yeah,
Kissy
that's all
face.
she ever wants to do. But yeah, she's very communicative, and animals usually are. You just have to be
You guys could see
willing to listen to them.
You could see her eyes. Her eyes are very human-like, the expressions.
Look at that.
Hold on, I have to go like this.
No. Come back. Just let her do it.
Grab her.
I have her.
Ling.
No, don't. Just let her do it. Okay, she'll listen to me, won't you, baby?
No, she's so dark.
Sit down.
She's
You should be a good girl.
like, do you have any water?
Yeah. Yeah, of course you can.
Yeah.
All you have to do is be open. And when you are open, follow the thought. Don't sit and, ignore it. Because they'll tell you what they're trying to say. It doesn't come out all the time like words. It comes out as a total sensory experience. It comes out as pictures and feelings simultaneously, and you'll hear their voice. Most people name their dogs or cats something really stupid. And they don't really listen to the cat or the dog. But see, I listen to what my animals say. That's why their names are what they are. Like her, I looked at her and said, okay, what's your name? She said, Ling. So I said, okay, you're Ling. I had another child that looked right at me and said, my name's Moo. So I named him Moo.
My ferret said, my name is Choi, and Choi it is.
If you can't hear them, then find someone who can hear them.
Hiroshi, though, I totally forced that one.
Yeah, you did.
What should I have named him?
I told you.
Yum Yum?
Well, yeah, Yum Yum.
You told me you should have named him Yum Yum. You told me. No, really, what should I have named him?
Well, I thought you were going to name him. What was the name I was thinking about? And it's gone now, but.
I had so many names for him.
He was supposed to have a different name. It's gone, so it doesn't even matter.
I was like, I'll name him Kamari. I'll name him this.
But I called him Yum Yum. And he liked it. And I said, okay. Lane, down.
That's because he eats everything.
Down.
Marsha says, mine give me the feeling like I have known them before.
Well, remember, animals are usually in a state of oneness. It's us humans that step out of oneness whenever possible. The animal kingdom, the plant kingdom, they don't have any problems. They don't have our issue. We are their issue, if anything. You know, like, I have to say this, you know, there's this, you know, a lot of vegans that, you know, protest people eating meat. Listen, I eat meat, and I think about the things that I eat. You never catch me eating my dog, or even if I owned a cow, you wouldn't catch me eating my cow. But I think that it's a person's choice as to what they eat. I know that some cruel things have been done to animals, and that's unfortunate. That's very unfortunate. And there are a lot of people that do things like trophy hunting, which I find atrocious. Absolutely atrocious. And if I were lawmakers, the moment that someone went trophy hunting, I would make sure that they had to face the animal that they were trying to hunt only with the things that that animal has. In other words, that animal has claws, then they get claws. That animal has claws and teeth. You give them a pair of teeth, put them in their mouth, and you give them some claw gloves and say you're even. Otherwise, don't go hunting for trophy things. You hunt to eat. Now, and you're supposed to use what it is that you hunt. The people who just want to go and kill something, what a bunch of god-awful cowards. And I'll tell anyone who's a trophy hunter that they're nothing but a dog-faced coward. Excuse me, sorry. Not even worthy of being called dog-faced. There's another word that I'm not going to use because we don't use profane language on the show. But trophy hunters should be outlawed, period, all over this world. And I understand other countries have their laws, and that's fine. But in this country, if you're from this country, you don't get to go trophy hunting anywhere. So I just had to say that. So.
Marsha says, that is how mine got their names, Pixie and Lily. Wasn't I supposed
Pixie?
to? Yeah, Pixie and Lily.
Nice.
Didn't we say, wasn't I supposed to name him? You were like telling me I should have named Hiroshi a Chinese name. Wasn't it like,
I don't even remember.
wasn't it like Yao? Didn't I pick Yao? Yeah, I don't remember either. But
Zhao. Was it Zhao or Yao?
Yao.
I don't remember. Like I said, it's gone now.
We would have had a completely different attitude.
Yeah. But Pixie and Lily, cute.
That's cute. Sebastian says, it was sad and it's very touching, but I feel like Catholics use a bit of negativity in their exorcisms.
Well, true, they do. But an exorcism isn't a positive experience. If you have to do an exorcism, there's nothing positive about it. And believe me, I've done many. There's nothing positive about it. So, as far as Catholicism goes, Catholicism has done a lot to cause negativity. Now, if you said cause negativity, I would wholeheartedly agree with you there. Lynn, come here. Come here. Good girl. Wholeheartedly. Catholicism has brought much pain to people. and cause people to even act as though they are possessed. But even when they find someone who's possessed, it's hard to get Catholicism to acknowledge that, which is kind of ironic. You know, if anything, it's been my contention that Catholicism is what's caused people to be possessed, because most of them are just very angry spirits that seek out sometimes people of that may have done something to them in the past and saw a way to get revenge. Now, that's a long story, and I would need a couple of shows to explain how I come to that conclusion. But did you ever think that the reason that it's so important for Catholicism to know the name of the entity that is the possessing agent is because they have a list somewhere that they know that they have committed crimes against, and knowing that those people are looking to get back at them some way, somehow. Remember, whether a person believes in reincarnation or not is irrelevant. Belief was for those people that don't know about it, and belief is also something that is very shaky. You know, so if these spirits have been incarnated and have been done horrible, wrong things, had things done to them that have been horrible, maybe some of them are seeking revenge, and maybe there's a list somewhere that is taught to these people, and these people being demonized. There's a list of names that they have, and they know how to take care of these people on a spiritual level, or at least get them out of a person, or do their best to get them out of a person. That could be the case. Other things are that they like negotiating with these entities. But see, if I have to do an exorcism, I don't care what the entity's name is. I'm not there to care about what their name is. The fact is that they are criminal. They are violating a basic right. A person has a right to their own body. Therefore, they have to go. So, there's nothing positive about an exorcism. I guess the only, if you wanted to call something positive, is once that entity is out of them, you hope that it won't happen again. But there are some people that will repeat the offense that they did to provoke that. And those that were unprovoked, you hope that you've given them enough that they can keep that from ever happening to them again. So even after the exorcism, it's not a positive experience. It just is what it is. You leave a list of rules and hope the person will follow the rules. Some people do. Some people do not. Some people go out of their way not to follow the rules, and then come back and complain by saying, well, I feel like it's back. Well, what did you do? Well, I told you to stay away from this, 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 and this. Well, I felt like I needed closure. Listen, if you shoot yourself in the head and I take the bullet out of your head and fix you miraculously, and I tell you don't ever shoot yourself in the head, it doesn't make it right that you shot yourself in the head again because you need a closure. There is no excuse to run back into hell unless you like it there, in which case I can't do anything for you. So yeah, you know, like I said, even after the exorcism, there's nothing really positive about it. You just hope that person winds up doing it. Now, if you see someone later, much later, and they're doing okay and they're following their rules, they're making sure that they're doing the things that they need to do and their life is good, okay, then you can call that a positive experience. But you really can't take credit for that. You're just doing what the universe showed you to do. You don't take any credit. You don't take any blame. You help someone out. Big deal. You helped exercise this person, you know, to make sure that they're okay now. So what? Let me pat myself on the back. There are so many more that need your help. And then you always have to protect yourself. I have to protect myself constantly. I stand firm on those things that I know. I do not waver. I cannot afford to waver. And even if I could afford to waver, I would not. For the sake of people that I work with to help, I say what I mean, and I mean what I say. I don't have confidence issues. I am not wishy-washy. I'm not soft-spoken, except for when I need to be. I'm very definite. Hell, I'm even confident if I'm wrong. At least if I'm doing something and I find out I'm wrong about it, I can admit that I was wrong about it and then confidently learn the right way. So when it comes to exorcism, I can't really condemn Catholicism for what negativity they might use in exorcism, as long as they're at least attempting to fight the fight. And as long as they are standing for some virtue that is divine, as long as they are doing something to help a person or people. Catholicism has done much to hurt people. I get that. But there's some people that have gone into Catholicism as priests that were looking to sincerely help. Sooner or later, they find out that they can. Some leave, some do not. Not all versions of Catholicism are corrupt, like Baptists or Lutherans or Protestants or anything else, charismatics. They're good and bad of everything. But at some point in time, each of them have to deal with a form of exorcism.
Sebastian was saying that he says, I never said exorcisms are positive. I'm just saying that you can approach the exorcism in a way to show unconditional love and talk to the entity and let that entity move on.
Oh, yeah? You ever had the experience?
They don't want to. They
Listen,
just...
when I say that out of experience.
Yeah.
And as far as unconditional love, of course, that goes without saying. But there are entities that aren't interested in your unconditional love.
Mm-mm.
Mainly because they know that human beings are about 99% incapable of unconditional love. And that's just the truth. You can tell yourself all day that you love someone unconditional, but the moment that they do something you like, that is challenged. And if you were unconditional, there would be no challenge. Unconditional love sounds awesome. And when you're standing toe-to-toe with some entity that needs to leave, you are showing love. But you're showing love for life and freedom. To make that being understand that they have no right to take over someone else's life. That is called reason. It is not a soft game. I am an exorcist. There is nothing soft about it. And I do what I do out of love. Call it unconditional or conditional, whatever you'd like. I don't think about unconditional love when I'm exercising something. I don't think about conditional love when I'm exercising something. I operate the way that the universe tells me to operate. And if you'd like to title that as love, fine. Whether you call it unconditional or not, think about what unconditional really is. It is a noble thing to be able to love unconditionally, always. Can I say that I do that always? Honestly, I don't know. I don't think about it. I'm the one with the muscle. It's my job to push the car out of the road, and I do exactly that. I do it because this is what I am. Whether it's called love or unconditional love is irrelevant. Those beings do not leave. That's why they decided to take someone else over. They don't want to leave. And true, love is one of the most powerful forces in the universe. One of. Love. What we human beings mostly know of is not love. It's always something else. We say, I love you. I feel love. It would be far better to say that you're in oneness with someone. You are in a state of oneness. We have separated ourselves to a whole extent. We say things like, I love you, but I'm not in love with you, which makes no damn sense at all. We say things like, well, I don't love you, but I like you. We say, I don't like you, but I love you.
I'm trying really hard not to sing that song.
That's right. But I see that you are speaking about unconditional love with the willingness to learn what that is. So I'm giving you a way to think about it. Understand what unconditional love is before you start to say it. There are billions of people that say it, that say what they think unconditional love is. You have to know what unconditional love is. And when you have the experience of exercising an actual entity that is trying to take someone else's life, then we can sit and talk about unconditional love. I have that experience again and again. I did do it out of love. Not out of love for humanity. Not out of love for that entity. But because I have to be love to know what love is and to be the embodiment of that particular feature. Whether it was unconditional or not, never even came into the picture. I know God. I know Goddess. And they know me. So I operate in oneness with them. And unconditional love pales in comparison. I act under the unction of the Holy Spirit. It's all I have. It's all I've got. So, when you've exercised a few people, really exercised a few people, and I don't mean people that just may have had a bit too many Skittles or decided to try a new drug, but I mean someone who actually has an attachment or a possession or an obsession, let me know. Then we'll talk about unconditional love.
He says, in response to you asking if he has ever had to do an exorcism, he said, no, I haven't, but they only show what they were shown, which is hate. And then he says, he apologizes and says, I'm not trying to offend you.
No offense. No offense taken at all. Not at all. And ask me more. I love teaching.
Yes.
Good questions. Good thoughts.
And Marsha says, I don't kill anything or hurt animals. And Shelly says hi.
Hello, Shelly.
It is after 9 o'clock.
Okay. This was good. We need to continue this trend.
Oh, we have one more question
Certainly.
from Michelle. She says, could you explain the Kundalini life force and its purpose?
I will do that next week. Okay.
Oh, and Maddie Wu asks if you have seen the HBO series True Detectives. It's a pretty interesting show. He thinks.
I have not. I'll check it out, though. I'll check it out. And we'll talk some more. Next week, we'll start off with the Kundalini. Remember that.
No, too soon.
Okay. I'd like to thank you all for joining us on the show this evening. It's been a wonderful show. Exactly what I wanted. And tell your friends, please. Tell everyone to tune in. The more people that come, the more that we get to do. And remember your questions. Like I said, write your questions down so you have them, because sometimes people just lose them. If you'd like to learn about classes or you have other questions, we can be contacted at Unicorn Cove School of Metaphysics site, and that is at www.unicorn-cove.com. There's also Ask the Unicorn, which is www.asktheunicorn.com. If you're interested in taking classes and you want to call us at area code 207-347-5686. Okay. Until next week, again, thank you. Be good to each other. Excuse me. Have a wonderful week. And as soon as I figure this out, I'll be able to end the show with style. Remember, the unicorn is always listening. How's that? No, wait, I don't like that one. We'll see you all next week. Same unicorn time, same unicorn.
Do we get to do a dance? Unicorn.
I'm not doing that. Okay.
Or maybe like this.
I'll see you all next week. Okay. Have a good week. Unicorn out.